Hello, YouTube. So, I am live here for the first time. Never did this before. It's kind of impromptu, so I don't even know if anybody um, who typically would visit my channel will be on here.
Where's the chicken nugget?
You ate the chicken nuggets. That's Baby Joy Chaser that you hear in the background. Of course, as soon as I started this, now he's wanting me to get up and get him some more food. um, so yeah, this is a pretty impromptu live. I've been live on many other social media platforms before. Um, Facebook, Instagram, but never YouTube. And I was thinking of doing a video today. I don't even know how to see if this will show me who's watching or whatever. I'm assuming your comments will pop up if anyone comes on. But I was trying to do some planning today, and I have my notebook here, and I was writing out some notes for upcoming YouTube videos. I'm trying to get back to being more consistent with updating my channel. Um, so for a couple reasons that I get into in a minute, but I figured. So I was thinking about doing a video on like what you guys can expect from the channel. I guess in 2021 and going forward. And then I decided, well, instead of doing like a fully edited video, why don't I go live on here? And if anybody hops on, we can just chat. But anyway, so it is 2021. It's a whole new year. A lot of the same old stuff. I'm in Philadelphia, and where I live, for the most part, people have been taking the pandemic pretty seriously. So I'm still basically quarantining. I'm home. Baby Joy Chaser is home with me. His daycare is not available to me at the moment. I'm still work from home, so things are still stressful. I'm maintaining though. I don't know if you ever truly adjust to stressful scenarios, but I guess you just kind of get used to them in some way, or you get used to feeling a certain amount of stress. So that's currently where I'm at. I still feel stressed, but I guess I have accepted that this is just a stressful period in history, time in my life. So it is what it is. But I did do a big thing that I'm pretty proud of. So I know a lot of you who are going to see this video later, and I think there's a couple people watching. If you're watching, say hi, because this is my first live, and I'm not even sure how it works. I'm assuming your comments will pop up. So say hi. Oh, hi. Okay, now I see it working. Hi, Nikki. Um, so if you are like newer to the channel, or if you've started following my channel from like when I was trying to conceive and all that, you might not know that I had this channel well before I ever decided to become a single mom by choice, and before I started the TTC process that resulted in Baby Joy Chaser. So I'm a blogger, and I blog about happiness. I blog about helping women to make happiness a priority in their life before they find themselves unhappy. That was something I was personally working on, and then over time I was able to like help people, and I do local events in Philly, and I've done a virtual event now that, because we're in a pandemic, but all related to happiness. And so when I did decide to that I wanted to be a mom, and because I wasn't married, that I would pursue the single mom by choice route, I decided to be very open and transparent about that, because I had already been blogging at that point for many years, and it felt inauthentic to not share that part of my life. And so I decided that I would share that part of my life largely on video. So I don't call my channel a TTC channel or a parenting channel. It's just my channel, right? But I do predominantly talk about TTC and all that stuff over here. So that being said, there's going to be some new content coming to the channel soon. So because of what I do for Chasing Joy and helping people to have happier, more fulfilled lives, I decided to start a show. Kind of like a TV show. It's an interview series that I'm calling Chasing Joy with, and then after with will be the name of the people I'm interviewing. So I recorded season 1 in my private Facebook group. So if you guys are on Facebook and you want to be part of the Facebook group, I will post in, I guess, the caption of this video once I'm done the live, the link with how you can join me over there, because I update there several times a week, much more frequently than I managed to get over here to YouTube. But so I recorded season 1 of the Chasing Joy show in my private Facebook group. They were the live studio audience for our virtual talk show. And so in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be launching season 1 of the Chasing Joy show here on the channel. So that's going to be some new content. Season 1, I think I'm going to have it drop 1 episode each week on Saturday nights, because that's how it was recorded, one show each week. And I already have season 2 booked, and that'll start recording live in April. So if you want to watch the live shows, like I said, you'll click on the link that I'll share later for the Chasing Joy private group. But yes, I'm super excited. I talked to 6 different women, all women this season. All black women. I'm like thinking, is everybody black? I'm pretty sure everybody was black. I'm like having a brain fog moment. 6 black women about their happiness, or not their happiness, their views on happiness, their strategies for having happier lives, and interesting perspectives they have on overall joy, and individual topics that can help us be happier. So I'm super excited that that's going to be launching on the channel around March 20th. I'm thinking that's going to be the date. So you can stay tuned for that. In addition, like I said, I'm going to be trying to get back to like my regular posting of videos. So things like vlog videos, updates on motherhood, Baby Joy Chaser. In the past, I had tried to do those on Fridays, and when I was TTCing, where I had a lot of updates to do with all the fertility stuff, and while I was pregnant, I was pretty good about getting those videos up every Friday. So I'm going to try to have some new content coming to you guys that's like vlogs and updates on me and Baby Joy Chaser on Fridays. Also, not that I'm going to do any kind of spoiler alert, but I will be turning 41 this month, and so with a birthday kind of looming and officially being over 40, I have to start making some decisions about what my family is going to look like. If you're new, you might not know that I did IVF for Baby Joy Chaser, and I have a couple embryos left. And so it's kind of getting down to decision time, because, though, with having embryos, they can be transferred. I believe my clinic said up to like age 49 and a half. I personally don't want to, be becoming a mom again that later in my life. So it's getting to the time for me to have to make a decision. And so I'll probably, I'm not going to say probably, I am going to share like my decision making process, my thought process with you all. So there'll be a video about that. I'm just looking at my notes where I was writing down video topics. I got my first mammogram this year. Well, not this year, it was the end of 2020, but at age 40 I got my first mammogram. Kind of on schedule for that, so I have a vlog about that experience. Baby Joy Chaser will be 3 in, boy, a month and a half. Yeah, less than 2 months he'll be 3, which is crazy. So there'll be some updates on how he's doing. You hear him talking in the background. Do you want to say hi? He's talking about the Cat in the Hat space station. Okay, I'll start it over. He loves the show. We've started the show over many times so far today. He's singing the song. So there'll be a baby. There'll be an update about that, like how his development and everything. I think my recent video for you guys was about potty training. So I'll update you guys on like when that improves, because if you saw from the video, we are not fully trained, though he's doing really well, but we still have a ways to go. So I'm going to try to get back to being like more up to date with updating you guys over here. I'm not going to promise today that it's going to be weekly, but I want you guys to know I'm definitely trying to get it together and be more intentional. And he is older now and a bit more independent. And I guess maybe that's one lesson from this pandemic experience with me having to work from home with him here. He has gotten pretty good at being able to play by himself, which I have mixed feelings about, but it does allow me to be able to, like right now, I'm able to talk to you guys without a tremendous amount of distraction. So it does make it so that I can start to be a little bit more productive with Chasing Joy, with my blog, and with getting you guys updates, more frequently. So that's kind of the plan for me in terms of this channel, and I hope that you guys will like the new additional content that's going to be coming in the form of the Chasing Joy show. I'm really excited about it because I really feel like people don't think about their overall happiness enough. And I don't mean like in a selfish way, like, oh, I'm gonna do what I want to be happy, but just in general, like the quality of their life. We're so busy like kind of going through the motions and largely in survival mode. I know I've definitely been in survival mode this last year. But hi, Mona. But I definitely feel like we can, be introspective and look for ways to improve our overall quality of life and our happiness and how we feel, because then that spills over into every other area of our life. When we are happier, we are better moms. More chicken nuggets? Okay. Hold, give mommy a minute.
Chicken nuggets in the kitchen.
Chicken nuggets. Okay. Hold on, guys. Apparently, I have to go get chicken nuggets. See, I just jinxed myself when I said I could have less distraction. You want to say hi? You want to sit here while I get the chicken nuggets?
No.
No. Be right back, guys. Nuggets. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. always on mom duty. Had to get the chicken nuggets. But yeah, when we are happier, we are better moms, we're better wives, we're better friends, we're better workers. And it just really spills over. And so I feel like my mission in life is to help people find happiness, and to be an example of a person who has to work at it. I am a person who scores melancholy whenever I do those personality assessment type of tests. So happiness is something that I have to be intentional about, because it can be very easy for me to be glass half empty and to be kind of like overcome with anxiety and stress and whatnot. So I have to be intentional, and there's a lot of people who have to be intentional, and I just want to be a voice telling them like it's okay to be intentional, and even giving some practical tips on how to do that. So that's what I do over on Chasing Joy blog. And like on the Chase and Joy private group and what I'll be talking about on the Chase and Joy show, which I'm excited about. And I hope some of you guys will watch. But I know some of you are watching. I don't know if you have been watching from like the TTC days. I'd be happy to answer questions, like do a quick Q&A, as long as it's not going to divulge some stuff that I might be wanting to keep close to my heart at the moment. But definitely drop your questions while I'm on here, because this is my first live and I don't know how often I will be live on here in the future. Mona says, so true. I'm a single mom and my daughter's father gets her every other weekend. Those free weekends I get, I'm so happy. I think I finally get to relax and do stuff. Yeah, I totally can relate to that, in the sense of how much happy you are when you get time to like focus on yourself for a little bit. So I'm a single mom by choice, meaning that I had baby Joy Chaser completely by myself, using a sperm donor. So I don't get the weekends off. So one of the things that's been like so hard for me with the pandemic is, prior to the pandemic, you know, I went into being a single mom kind of with a plan in place and like systems in place. So I have really good daycare that's at my job. And I had a flexible work schedule that allowed me to be able to like send him to daycare sometime when I didn't have work, so I'd have time for myself. Then I had this whole arrangement with my niece where she'd watch him twice a month on a weekend evening, so I could go out with friends sometime and just have some time to myself. And that was working out really well. I mean, it was still challenging because being a mom, a parent is hard. But it's so fulfilling. I would never want to go back and not do it. But I had and I was much happier when I was able to have that time to myself. And then with the pandemic, like all that went away. I think I've had 3 days, I don't think 4. I think 3 separate times in the last year that I've been able to like have time to myself. Like that's crazy. So it's hard. And then like when he finally goes to sleep at night, sometimes I feel like, ooh, like I made it, I survived. And just those like couple hours are like a huge relief, because I can just like focus on what I want to focus on without being interrupted, and I can eat a meal without, or a snack without sharing it, kind of thing. So I can definitely understand what you're saying when you get that weekend off, where you're kind of off mom duty. Though we're never really off. We're always thinking about our kids, but like when you're not actively having to, you know, do all the millions of tasks, that you would definitely feel a bit lighter and happier. I totally can relate to that. So I don't know if you guys have any other questions. We're just hanging out at home today. Back up. Baby Joy Chaser likes to get too close to the TV. So Mona says, I think you mentioned before that you will try for number 2. Have you started yet? So I'm not going to go too much into that on this live video right now. But I will share that that's part of the newer content that I'm hoping to be posting on Fridays. I'm turning 41 in 10 days, actually, on the 17th. And so it is getting time for me to like make a true decision about what I want to do. You know, in a perfect world, I would have gotten married and definitely had more than one kid, but like this is not a perfect world. So it does require a lot of thought. And this pandemic, if nothing else, has truly kind of showed me like what my real support system is, and what life looks like when things get really like kind of hard. And so lots of things to consider about adding another baby into the mix. So definitely some things I have to talk through, plan for, and I will be sharing that with you guys. I'll be like bringing you along my thought process and my decision making process. By the way, whoever is watching, can you... Hey, no yelling. screaming. Inside voice. Oh, he's very excited. You're already watching Space Station, and I already restarted it for you. You want to say hi?
No.
No. All right. Sorry. So yeah, it could be, you know, the idea of two of them screaming like that is something that requires thought, right? You're already watching it.
I want to watch Space.
You're already watching it.
I want to watch.
Okay. All right. Bye bye. You're already watching Space Station. So he likes to watch the same shows over and over again, and often the same parts over and over, and he'll just ask for it, and I'm like, you're already watching it, but he really wants me to like rewind to a certain part. But yes, I'm gonna bring you guys along on my my thought process regarding what my family looks like. So who's ever watching, if you can like the video, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. I think I forget to say that when I am recording, like, please like and subscribe, but please like the video, so people will find it. And I don't go live on here often, so I don't know, you know, how it shows up in people's feeds, like if they get a notification or anything like that. I'm not sure. What other questions do you guys have before I have to sign off of here? I should have sent like a little thing to social media like, hey, I'm going to go live on YouTube, but sometimes the more things you try and do before you do something, the less likely you are to do it. I probably would have got distracted or ended up not making my way over here. Oh, we're trying to see the chat. Oh, I would like to know what kind of content would you guys like to see from me. That would be super helpful as well, as I'm thinking about like newer videos going forward. We want to see like more updates on like baby Joy Chaser's development. Like he's edging out of the toddler phase, you know, when he hits 3. I'm not sure if that's still considered a toddler or he's officially a big kid or a big baby, but a little kid. I'm not sure. So some of the exciting parts of development have passed, you know, like walking and talking, and you know, we kind of have potty training left. The pacifier has been a thing. I should give you guys an update on that. Yes, I'm going to write that down in my book right now, because I bought an entire, I shouldn't say entire like it's a big thing, but I bought a pacifier, what do we want to call it? Like a pacifier, oh my gosh, I'm not thinking of the right word. Like a whole system to get your kid off of the pacifier. So like a pacifier, I don't know, abatement system? That sounds kind of crazy, but so I could do a video on that and tell you guys how that went or how that is going. Let me see what the questions. Would like to know about me also. What are my dreams and aspirations? Oh, that's such a good question. It's interesting because my biggest dream and aspiration so far that I've not accomplished is I would like to be married. I always wanted to be married, though I have taken on this very modern and non-traditional family type because I wanted to be a mom. My values have always been a bit more traditional, so I always wanted to be a wife and a mom, and it came down to a time where I was realizing like my time frame to be a mom is much shorter than to be a wife, especially if you want to experience being pregnant and having a child with your own eggs. We don't all have forever, and my mom had fertility issues, so I was like very aware that fertility issues happen. And my mom had fertility issues in her 20s. It took her 5 years to have me. And she had me at 30. So I was very aware that like women, we don't have forever. So I kind of made a choice that like I would pursue motherhood, but I still really would like to be married. So that's one of my biggest, I guess, dreams, that I hope to accomplish one day. And I don't know if you would consider marriage an accomplishment, because you can't like do it by yourself, right? You have to have the right person. They have to feel the same way, similar values, all that stuff. And that's not easy to come by. But I would like to be married. Other than that, being a mom was like one of my main goals, and thank God that was able to happen after, quite a long journey. Um, I really do find a lot of fulfillment in what I do for Chasing Joy. Um, the show was a new idea to do the Chasing Joy show, and I'm excited about it. And I would love for it to grow and to grow on this channel. And I don't know where it could lead, but I'd love to definitely, if it could be a source of income, because that's always an amazing feeling when you get to make any kind of money doing stuff that you would do for free. So clearly I'm doing it for free, so I would do it for free, just because I love and believe in it. But that would be an amazing thing to get some compensation for the Chasing Joy show. I'd like to write a book. And I have a lot of content that I can convert into a book because of the years of blogging. Chasing Joy is actually 10 years old. Back in the end of January, it was 10 years ago that I had started blogging and being active on social media in this way, in terms of like focusing on happiness and pursuing passions and whatnot, and developing, I call like the pillars of joy. So I would definitely like to help more people with that. I also launched the Chasing Joy vision board in a box, because the virtual event I did this past year, 2020, during the pandemic, was a vision board party, and we did it via Zoom. And so we all created vision boards, and I actually put together a kit where you can get everything you need for a vision board sent to your house. And I'll send you like a survey, and you can tell me about yourself and your goals, and then I will put together like a unique tailor-made box for you, that has magazines in there, so you'll have a easy time selecting the images that correspond with your goals. And then I have a whole clarity session that I developed that you can access. So I launched that in 2022. Well, I should say in 2020 also, because we haven't reached the year 2022 yet. But I would love to do some more with the vision board in the box as well. So I have a day job, and I've kind of reached as of right now, I feel like I've reached the height of how far I plan to go there. So mentally, I'm starting to think about like, well, what will I do kind of when I retire, though that's still like a decade or more away. But I'm starting to think about those kind of things, like, well, what will I do at that point in my career, because I've done all that I tend to do there. And maybe I will just do more chase the joy, like entrepreneurial type stuff. Oh wait, I accidentally hid the chat. Let's go back. Hey Tamika, TCC. I decided to be like you and go live today. I never ever go live. But I was just talking about, I was writing in my journal like plans for videos, because I'm going to try to start being consistent on this channel again, like I was, years ago. And so I was going to do a video to tell people like, oh, what to expect from the channel in 2021. And then I said, well, I'll not just go live. I've never gone live on here, and I was thinking about you, Tamika, how you go live on here, and it's always such a fun time. Right, no editing. Yes, that's true, and it's just up. So I was saying that for new content that's going to be coming out in 2021, I launched a show called the Chasing Joy Show that I recorded via Zoom on live through Facebook, in the Chasing Joy private Facebook group. And season 1 is all recorded, and I'm working on editing, and that'll be launched here in a couple of weeks, and it's going to air on Saturday nights. And it's called, basically, it's the Chasing Joy Show, and it'll be like Chasing Joy with whoever I interviewed. And I interviewed, hold on, don't do that, you know better. Baby Joy Chaser was throwing something at the TV. Yeah, he's getting a little amped up, so. So yeah, I interviewed 6 Black women, and we talked about their unique perspectives on happiness and goal setting and following your purpose, and how to just have happier, more fulfilling lives. Because that's really what I believe that my, I don't know, my gift or mission is in life, is to help people have happier lives by sharing my experiences. And I was doing that well before the TTC stuff and being a single mom by choice. But that's why I was so transparent about everything, because I'd already been sharing my life. And so it just would have felt unauthentic to leave those big things out. But yes, I'm bringing more just kind of some kind of Chasing Joy content. So that's going to be on Saturday nights when season 1 drops. And I've already booked all of season 2. So that'll start recording live in April. And I'm going to post the link to the Chasing Joy Facebook group in the comments of this after I finish being live. So you guys, if anyone's interested in joining the private group to watch the interviews live, you can do that. In addition to that, I'm going to be adding a few more vlogs. Like, I have so much footage in my phone that I've just not been able to edit. Like you were saying, Tamika, like the editing is crazy. So like, I got my first mammogram this year. That's a vlog that I'm going to have coming out. I'm going to walk you guys through my decision-making process on whether I'm going to extend my family or not. I'm not ready to go into too much detail about that on this live, but I definitely plan to post some videos to let you guys know like where my head is at, what things I have to consider about that process, and the timing and everything, because I will be 41 in 10 days, and it's like, okay, it's time to start to make a decision. Because I would rather, if I'm going to extend my family, I would rather do it sooner than later. Even though the clinic, they said 49, they either said 49 and a half or 49.9, but I really don't want to be like 60 with a 10-year-old. So, yeah, I'm going to walk you guys through that process. I'll give you some more updates on Baby Joy Chaser, who you hear making all that noise, because he's going to be 3 soon, which is crazy. So we could talk about like how he's doing and just some different other things that I have to consider as being a single mom by choice, like about getting extra help like during a pandemic, because I don't have my daycare and stuff like that. So definitely planning to get some new content. I'm not ready to promise that it'll be weekly again like before, other than the Chasing Joy show. That will be weekly because it's already recorded and I just have to finish the editing. But in terms of doing some more vlogs, like, you know, I'm not going to daily vlog. I don't think my life is that interesting to do that all the time. But like, if something interesting is happening, like when I went for my mammogram, that experience, I thought that was worth vlogging. And like the potty training vlog, I thought that was worth vlogging. That was like the last thing that I updated here on the channel. You know, praying that as people get vaccinated and hopefully these pandemic numbers will come down and Baby Joy Chaser go back to daycare. I'll probably vlog that, because that'll be, almost like starting all over again, because he's been out now for basically a year. So definitely planning to do some more vlogs, and those will probably be released on Fridays like I used to do. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. You guys have any more questions for me while I'm still on here? As I don't know, it's been 35 minutes And I'll probably hang on here a little longer until Baby Joy Chaser either insists that I get off, or my cousin is coming to visit with us this afternoon, or until she arrives. So if you guys have questions or ideas about content you'd like to see from me, questions about being a single mom, or I did IVF. I'm not an expert on any of that, and some of it I may have forgotten because I'm kind of far removed now that he's almost 3. But I did do that, and I used a sperm donor. And I blog, like I said, Chase and Joy blog is 10 years old now.
Did you want to get some chicken nuggets?
I don't know if you guys...
I want to get some chicken nuggets.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know if you guys could hear him, but then he started yelling. He's asking for chicken nuggets. These are your last 2 chicken nuggets. Those are your last 2. You still don't want to say hi to the people? He does not want to come on the camera today. So yeah, that'll be interesting too. Like how, as he gets older and has opinions, how I navigate this social media world, keeping his preferences and things in mind. That'll be interesting going forward. That's like one of the main reasons I don't use his name on social media. It's like a couple reasons I call him Baby Joy Chaser. So one is because I have had the blog for over 10 years now, and it had been out for several years before he was born. And I do like these local events in Philly. Every now and then someone will know me, right? Or recognize me, even though my channel is small. But I always feel like, especially in like Philadelphia area, among the Black people, we all know each other. If you just talk to somebody long enough, especially if you get into the segment, people who have been to college, everybody knows somebody who went to a college or who's in the same fraternity or sorority. Like everybody seems to know each other. And so every now and then I'll be somewhere and someone will know me from blogging, but they won't know me like for real. And they will be like, Arlette, or they'll be like, usually they'll think my name is Joy, and they'll start talking to me. And while I wanted to be very transparent and open about my journey, I did not want any strangers, because though I feel most of you guys watching are like great people who I would love to be friends with in real life, there are some people who are not too savory, right, out here on these interwebs. And so I would never want a complete stranger who is not, does not have good intentions to just call my son by name and him, at a young age, to think that that's somebody he's supposed to know and respond to as though they were a friend. So that's one reason I decided not to share his name. And literally he was 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks old, and me and my cousin were in the mall, and somebody recognized me, and they were like looking at like, oh, the baby, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this really does happen. And I was just glad that he was little at the time. But like, yeah, that would freak me out if somebody was just knowing him by name who I hadn't personally shared his name with. But the other reason is, in today's day and age where everybody looks at everyone's social media, I wouldn't want anyone to Google him, right? Though it could still happen, if they know his last name, my last name, it could pop up. You could put one and one together. But he might, when he's older, not want to be as open about this, or feel like he only wants certain people to know. I don't know. So I don't want someone to Google him and be like, oh, you're the kid that's from the sperm donor, right? And your mom's all over YouTube. Though that could still happen, but I don't want to make it super easy for people. So that's where I came up with Baby Joy Chaser. Let's see. Hi, Silly Mommy for Life. Mona said, sounds exciting. I hope that the Chase and Joy show will be exciting for you guys. I know it's a little different than like all the TTC stuff, but like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I had this channel prior to that, so I've never considered this channel to be like solely a TTC channel. This is just a channel about me and my life, for those who like to be a fly on the wall of other people's lives, right? Tamika says, I've seen my IG story workouts. How do you get in the headspace for workouts? Because I want to, but lack the motivation. So, the best way to get in the headspace about workouts for me, is I tie it. You hear Baby Joy Chaser singing. I tie it to my work day. So prior to the pandemic, I worked out after work. So if I went to work, I worked out. I either went to the gym on the base where I work, or I went to the gym right after while Baby Joy Chaser is still at daycare. But if I went to work, I typically worked out at least 3 times a week. Now that we were home, when we came home for the pandemic and I'm just working from home, I did take maybe a month off, and then I realized wait, we ain't going back, so I have to figure this out. So basically now, most of the time it's in the morning, but like I said, now he's a little bigger and can be a little more independent. If I go to work, I work out. So I put on gym clothes first thing in the morning. I started to put on regular clothes later, but often I was just having on gym clothes all day. But I would put on gym clothes when I first wake up, and then often I'll try to do my workout first, because then I knock it out and I just consider it part of the day. If you think about it, you will talk yourself out of it. And that's my biggest tip is do not think about it. Just make it part of the routine. I get up, I put on gym clothes, I come downstairs, and I either go in my garage and get on the treadmill, or lately I've been doing dance videos or Zumba videos on the internet. So I'll roll this carpet back and get started with those. Now for a little bit, I do this. Sometimes I end up doing them a little bit later in the morning when Baby Joy Chaser's up. But for those, I'll do the dance ones, because I can't really be in my garage because there's too much stuff in there that he could get into that could be dangerous, or he can mess some stuff up in there. So I can't really go in there and do my treadmill, but I can do a dance video. Even though if you guys watch my IG stories, sometimes, if he's up, if I have to do it while he's awake, he's definitely my number one hater, right? And I'll put a little heart, it says hater, on him in the video. Because he'll be pushing me and being no dancing. But I'll just, do as best as I can. And my goal is always to show up. My goal, I very rarely have I have to do burn this many calories to feel good about the workout. Or even, I have an idea, I want to do 30 minutes or an hour or 45 minutes. But me feeling good about the workout is not tied to any of those times. It's just tied to me showing up. So my goal this week, I don't think I have anything going on, knock on wood, I don't have to go back to the dentist or anything. So I should get in 5 workouts this week. My goal will be 5 workouts. So my goal is just to show up. So I think all that rambling to say in terms of headspace, make your goal to show up, just do something. That's the biggest hurdle, is just showing up. Once you show up, typically you can sometimes outperform yourself. Some days you didn't think you had energy and you get a burst of energy and you're feeling good. And then other days you don't get that burst, but you say, you know what, at least I showed up. I might have drug my behind through it, but I did show up. So make your goal to show up and somehow make it tie it to some other part of your day that you have to do. So it's kind of an automatic part of your routine that doesn't require thought. Because the more thought you have to put into it, the more likely and more opportunity to think yourself out of it. Silly Mommy for Life says hello to everybody in the chat. I'm happy to see more people in the chat. I hope you all hit the like button, right? And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I always forget to say that in my videos, but I can remember it on the live. Maybe I'll be like Tamika and start doing more of these lives, right? Maybe I could try to do that once a month or something. Tamika says she meant to tell me we have a friend in common, 6 Feet of Fashion. Y'all used to work together in Philly. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody in Philly knows each other. 6 Feet of Fashion. I don't know her personally, I met her, I'm pretty sure back when they were like several years ago, they were doing these events called, I want to say it was like 17 Days of Fashion in Philly. So I guess that was kind of Philly's answer to New York Fashion Week. They'd have like these 17 Days of Fashion, there'd be all these events. And I've never been a fashion blogger, but I know a few, and I would get invited to cover some of these events. I'm sure I met her at one of those, and then we connected on social media. But yeah, everybody knows each other. You know, it's a very small world. My mom always said that Philly is like a small town within a big city. Silly Mommy for Life says, yeah, I see people. I don't know what that means. She says, yeah, I see people doxing people here on YouTube so wrong. Yeah, I know I don't want my kids Googled up. Okay. I'm not sure what doxing people is, but it doesn't sound good. But yeah, I mean, everybody Googles everybody. I mean, I'm not even mad that people do that. So you just got to be aware and prepared for what you put online to show up in your real life and to be okay with it. So it's funny because I do all this stuff, but for my personal Facebook, I am very, very quick to block people. And in terms of like, because I have a day job, right? So when I get new coworkers or subordinates, I'll like preemptively block them so that, that doesn't mean they can't see anything, like, because, you know, for everybody knows people share stuff, but like, I don't want it to be easy, right? So I'll like preemptively block them. And then as I get to know them, if they seem cool, then I'll like unblock them. That still doesn't mean I'll like actually add them as a friend to my social media, but I'll unblock them. So should anything come up, you know, I'm okay with them seeing things that I post to my personal. But yeah, like anything you do, I mean, just a general rule for life. Like anything you do, you just be prepared to own it, because there's no real secrets, you know, these days. People out people all the time. There's cameras everywhere. So, you know, we can't really have secretive lives, but we can try our best to preserve and hold on to as much privacy as we want and feel comfortable with. Tamika says she's such a procrastinator. Yeah, I mean, in the procrastination, right? Like that can come from a few different places. I know for me, procrastination is typically about fear and anxiety. It's not about, people think procrastination has to do with laziness, but it doesn't. It often is tied to like fear, anxiety. It can be tied to perfectionism, right? Like we want things to look and be a certain way. And so if it can't be perfect, then I don't know if I even want to start. And we'll like drag our feet and we'll try to like line up all our ducks in a row. And sometimes, you know, like ducks keep moving, right? So that's like an interesting analogy. We're trying to get all our ducks in a row and they're just wandering off everywhere, and then we never actually get anything done. So similar to like me today, like, you know what, let me just go live on here, because by the time I try to like go on social media and say, hey, I'm going to be live, or by the time I like record a video and edit it, then life has occurred and it might not get posted till whenever. Like for example, when I went to get my mammogram, that was so long ago. That footage is still in my phone because I have not had time to like put it all together and edit it. So and I'm not a perfectionist in terms of this type of content. Like I would love for all my stuff to be like super clear and super pristine and look super professional. But I don't necessarily have all the resources to do that. And honestly, for certain things, done is better than perfect, right? But I would say for people, if you struggle with procrastination, like dig deeper and kind of try to figure out where yours comes from, because then you can tackle like that root cause and hopefully have it improve. Like I know for me, a lot of it is like anxiety and fear, and sometimes I just have to like take a deep breath and like learn to do things afraid, which is hard to do, but it does get better with practice. But you have to do it. You know, you gotta bite the bullet sometime and just do stuff while you're scared. So make sure you guys hit that like button who are watching. Thank you guys for watching, by the way, and giving me questions. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to be on or how YouTube went about like notifying people, because I would always miss Tamika's chats. Like, I think I caught a couple of them, but most of the time I would see it later. So I wasn't sure if anybody would even see this video, if you guys would just happen to see it later on. Oh, you know what? I haven't even said to Tamika or Boston girl, but I'd love to do another one of our chats again like we did before. I think like that was very well received by the women in the TTC and single mom by choice community. So I hope to do that again sometime this year as well. When the three of us, we all chatted and kind of did a live Q&A. For all our audiences, the three of us chatted through Zoom and we live streamed it to YouTube. So I'd love to do something like that again this year as well. In terms of content you guys can look forward to in 2021. Tamika said, yay, let's do it. Yeah, I definitely want to. It's just, we just have to plot out a date and stuff like we did before. You guys have any last minute questions? It's been almost an hour and I think my cousin will be here soon. You're already watching Space Station.
I want to watch Space Station.
We're watching The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about outer space. Baby Joy Chaser really loves Cat in the Hat. Mommy doesn't love Cat in the Hat so much for a lot of reasons. One being it gets him very amped up. Like you hear all this noise and banging in the background. That's him running around and slamming toys down, trying to reenact the cartoon. So mommy doesn't love that so much, but it's educational. So we watch a lot of PBS. That's the main type of TV programming that Baby Joy Chaser watches. Plus, I've recently found like some YouTube videos that helped with like phonics, because I'm trying to work with him on letters, like starting to identify them, and colors. So we watch some of those, but most of it's PBS. Yes, Tamika said The Cat in the Hat is very mischievous. I never liked The Cat in the Hat. Like when I was a little kid, maybe because like I'm prone to anxiety. As a kid, I would watch, or read the books or whatever, and just be like, why don't they just stop inviting that cat over? Every time that cat is there, it's a problem. Like, if you just leave the cat out of it, then nobody will be getting in trouble, worried about what their mom was going to say when they, like, wreck the house or whatever. So I will say these cartoons are better than what I was, I guess, reading as a kid. He's not quite as mischievous, but he still brings about like this higher, amped up level of energy in Baby Joy Chaser that I don't love. So, you guys have any other questions or topics for me to do for future videos? I think I will do one on what we watch on TV. This is my notebook. I'm just writing down notes. You want me to turn it over? Can you say hi to the people?
No.
No? Oh, give my book back. You say hi?
No. I want to watch Space Station.
You want to watch Space Station? I gave him a little bit of a haircut with scissors, not with like clippers. So he still hasn't had his first like official real haircut, like with clippers or then like a barber. I think I'm going to order some clippers on Amazon maybe today and ask my brother to do it before his 3rd birthday to get like, a real cut. And he looks so much older with the little cut that I gave him, even with just the scissors, right? He doesn't look babyish anymore. He looks like a whole little boy. It's crazy. It's really crazy. He's upset with his bust. That's why he's saying no. Trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to share with you guys? Yeah, so content you can look forward to coming soon is the Chasing Joy show, which will be on Saturday nights. Season 1 coming soon. The season 2 will probably launch on YouTube, I think in August. So it should be 2 seasons worth of Chasing Joy show content this year. And then I'm gonna be doing some daily vlogs, or for interesting events coming up. So those will be on Fridays. So like my mammogram vlog, I'll do a vlog of how we're gonna try and celebrate baby Joy Chaser's birthday. I don't even know if I did a vlog last year about his pandemic birthday. So maybe if I didn't, I have to look through the channel. If I didn't do that, then I'll backtrack and do his pandemic birthday. Then now his second pandemic birthday. I'll talk about childcare and yeah. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Any new content about single mom dating life? Single mom dating life. Well, not really. I could do, what, I should do one video, because I was on eHarmony for, okay, let me start it over. You gotta say start it over. I was on eHarmony for, I guess I'm technically still on there. I think I accidentally paid for a year or something. I don't know what I did, but I haven't paid and I still get notifications. But I was on there for a little bit in the summer of 2020, and I did actually connect with someone, and we were having video dates because of the pandemic, and that was going well. And then we finally, met in person, which I was nervous about. I'm very anxious about the pandemic because I am the only parent, and I try to really minimize my risk of getting exposed to COVID. But we did eventually meet in person, and that went well. And then he kind of just fell off. He just wasn't communicating. And I had said to him, because I'm busy. I work a full-time job. I take care of my kid full-time right now because there's no daycare. I have a side business for Chasing Joy. And then I'm just a regular person. I have my niece who lives here. I have, my brother, and I have friends. And, I'm a busy person, but I was making time to communicate with this man. And so then I was suggest times for us to have another video date or whatever, and whenever I was suggesting, he would have a reason that it wouldn't work for him. And so I said to him, I said, okay. I said, well, I noticed that whatever suggestions I make don't work for you, so I'm just gonna leave it. I feel like you should suggest a time, and then I'll let you know if that works for me. And he didn't do it, and then he was still randomly, how they text you oh, good morning, and randomly reach out to you, but it wasn't with any kind of purpose or intention of a real hey, let's talk on the phone for this amount of time, or let's have a video date, or let's try to arrange to meet in person again. Nothing that was really intentional. And so I ended up saying a week or so had passed, and then the next time we talked, I was like, listen, the last time we talked, I said that you were going to suggest, or I asked if you would suggest a time for us to connect more. And you said you would, and I haven't heard anything. And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. And I said, okay, well, just, know that the ball's in your court. because I'm pretty busy, but I'm willing to be, as flexible as I can. So the ball's in your court to let me know your availability. And he didn't, and then I just let it go. So I asked twice and just let it go. Because people make time for what is most important. So that was my most recent dating experience. So I did go on one virtual date, and I think that might have been like my first date since having baby Trey Chaser. Yeah. Yeah. Tamika said you're better than me. How so, Tamika? Please elaborate in the comments. Do you think I let it go on too long? I mean, I felt like we were having nice conversations when we chatted and when we went out. I think he just had some stuff that he was dealing with, and so I was like, but if you don't have time, then I don't have time. I'm not gonna keep asking and waiting around. She says, "Oh, you wouldn't have reminded him." Yeah, I mean, I think it just came up like naturally. Like it was only because like he reached out again with like just this real generic casual conversation. Like, okay, we'll do balls on your court for anything else. So yeah, so that was that. I've shot my shot a couple times at a couple different guys that I had some interest in. And that hasn't worked out, but that's okay. Back up. So Baby Joy Chaser likes to get too close to the TV, and if you follow me on social media, I might have mentioned it here, I'm not sure, but he did break my TV at the beginning of earlier in the pandemic. He like somehow, I think he was standing on a toy and he lost his balance, and when he went to fall, he reached back and grabbed for the TV, and the whole thing fell. Luckily, it fell beside him. So when you hear me saying back up, it's because he's getting too close to the TV, because he really likes the TV characters. Like he wishes he could be in there with them, which makes me a little concerned. But like I said, at least it's just PBS. It's not, nothing that's scary or too risque. Tamika says something always suffers when we independent busy women make time for a suitor. Oftentimes they don't respect that. Yeah, I don't really even think I don't think it had anything to do with me. I feel like he was like pretty respectful of my time in general initially. It was just like something happened and he kind of dipped off. So I feel like it's just whatever's going on in his life. So I think it was Mona. Forgive me if I'm saying your name right. Sorry, I keep putting my finger in the screen. I'm trying to like get back to the chat. Yeah, it was like Mona Walker was asking me earlier in the chat, like, what are my dreams and aspirations? And for the most part, the only thing I've not accomplished that I always wanted was to be married, because that's the only thing I can't just do by myself, right? I can't force someone to marry me. So, I'm willing to be flexible and make time for dating as I can, because getting married is still a goal that's important to me. And we'll just see what happens. Yes, Tamika says so by suffer, she means we make sacrifices to make the time available. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty good about fitting around my time, so I wasn't making too much sacrifice. Now I was willing to, though. That's why I kind of threw the ball in his court, because the times that I was suggesting for us to like either have a video date or whatever, or like to have time for like longer conversations were ideal times for me to like perfectly fit in my schedule. Like when Baby Joy Chaser was in bed, so it was like later at night. So those times, maybe they didn't work for him, and like initially he was kind of going along. Back up. Move your trampoline back. Put your trampoline back where it's supposed to be. Put it back. Thank you. Good job listening. So I don't know if like those times didn't really work for him and he was like accommodating me at first and then he was like done accommodating. But I was willing, you know, like you're saying, to make some sort of sacrifice. But that's why I was saying like balls in your court, because then if he would have set a time, I would have saw what I needed to adjust to make myself available. But it never even got to that. So done deal on that one. Yeah. Any other topics you guys want to see me talk about on future videos? I will write down dating though, because I'm going to cross my fingers. The dating will happen once again eventually. Eventually there'll be other dates. I learned how to do my hair, how to do these crochet braids. They don't look that great this time, but they look good enough to be presentable. That was the skill that I learned during quarantine. But I'm not good enough at it to try to do any kind of hair video. Yeah, Tamika says she found this to be the worst time to date. The dating pool is so large online now. Yeah, I mean, things happen the way they're supposed to. So I won't say I have any regrets per se, because you know, Baby Joy Chaser is amazing, and so he only came about because my life went this way. But I really wish that when I was in college, I was more aware of the fact that that was when I was going to be exposed to the largest pool of eligible men that had potential for like stable lives, in terms of like stable careers and things like that. Because once you're out of college, you know, depending on where you work, and like where I went to work for the government, you know, it was not like there was tons of young people in general, and then there were definitely not tons of young Black people. So then my day-to-day exposure just became less. And I did a little online dating back then and ended up, you know, no true lasting love connections. But you're right, now the online dating is very, very saturated. Because it's pretty much the same people who are outside. Everybody's online because everybody has a computer now, because it's in your pocket, right? It's in your phone. So I kind of wish I would have taken dating in college years more seriously. Because I just didn't even think, I was just so about my business, about my academics and like getting a job and my career and personal goals, that I definitely probably missed opportunities of dating some young men who probably were interested in me, because I was too busy with my head in a book to probably even notice them being interested. And I've learned that every guy is not an alpha guy. You know, every male is not an alpha male. So some definitely are more shy and need a little encouragement from you to approach them. And if I'm, you know, I was definitely not looking friendly and approachable back then. So he says sometimes the novice hair videos have the most things to learn from. Yeah. That's true. I don't know. Probably be like, what is the level below novice? Like a pre-novice? Like I'm not even quite a novice at any of this hair stuff. But just want to feel and look presentable. Oh, we need apple juice. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a day. This has been great. I'll try to come on here and go live again. Thanks for joining me for the first live. Please share the video wherever you like to share videos. And those who didn't like, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you all in the comments of the content that's coming this year in 2021, especially the Chasing Joy show that I'm very, very proud of. and excited to be bringing to you all.
I think it's a
You want to say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, wait. I see Tamika's video comment. She said she shot herself in the foot. She went to all girls high school. Had a boyfriend through college. We know how that turned out. And working from home for 9 years. Yeah, that's not a lot of opportunity to meet people. And I had a boyfriend the last 2 years of college that I should have broke up with after 3 months. And I continued on for 2-3 years. Craziness. Okay.